AITA for quitting my job on the spot and leaving my boss to handle the fallout. Hey, this happened a couple of weeks ago, but I'm still wondering if I went too far. Let me give you some background. I, 33M, have been working at a small tech company for the past 5 years. When I started, I was excited. It seemed like a place where I could grow and make a difference. My boss, Greg, 45M, was charming during the interview and promised opportunities for advancement, raises, and a work-life balance. Spoiler alert, none of that happened. For years, I was underpaid compared to others in my field. I brought it up multiple times, but Greg always had an excuse. The budget's tight right now. Or let's revisit this next quarter. But the company kept landing big contracts, and Greg's lifestyle didn't exactly scream tight budget. I also ended up doing way more than my job description. I was hired as a developer, but quickly became the go-to guy for everything. Client meetings, troubleshooting tech issues, training new hires, you name it, I did it. And whenever I tried to set boundaries, Greg would guilt-trip me with lines like, "We're a team, and the team needs you right now." Things hit a boiling point a few months ago when a coworker quit, leaving me to pick up his workload. Greg promised me a bonus for the extra effort. I worked 12-hour days for weeks, skipping lunches and weekends to keep everything afloat. When payday came, I checked my account, no bonus. I confronted Greg, and he brushed me off with some BS about cash flow issues and how my loyalty will be rewarded in the long term. I should have quit right then, but I felt trapped. Then came the big project. We landed a massive contract with an important client, and Greg assigned me to lead it. No extra pay, no support, just the promise that this would be a great opportunity for my career. I was drowning. I tried to hire an extra temp to help, but Greg shot it down, saying we don't have the budget for that. Meanwhile, I found out he was planning a 2-week vacation to Hawaii. The final straw came 2 weeks ago. The client was supposed to visit for a presentation, and Greg gave me less than 24 hours notice to prepare it. I stayed up all night working on it, and arrived at the office the next morning exhausted but ready. Greg showed up 20 minutes late, didn't even glance at the presentation, and proceeded to take all the credit for my work during the meeting. He even had the audacity to say, "Our success comes from strong leadership." After the meeting, he pulled me aside and said, "Great job, but I noticed a typo on slide 7. Let's aim for perfection next time, okay?" I saw red. That afternoon, I made my decision. I went back to my desk, typed up my resignation, and printed it out. Then I walked to Greg's office, handed it to him, and said, "I'm done." He looked stunned. He stammered about how you can't just leave. The project isn't finished. I smiled and said, "Not my problem anymore." I packed up my stuff and walked out. On my way out, I told a few coworkers what happened. Turns out, I wasn't the only one who felt exploited. 3 of them quit within the next week. Now, Greg is scrambling to keep the project afloat, and the client is threatening to pull their contract because of missed deadlines. Mutual contacts tell me Greg is calling me unprofessional and blaming me for abandoning the team. My friends say I did the right thing, but a small part of me wonders if I should have handled it differently. So, AITA for quitting without notice and leaving my boss in the lurch?